Are you looking to earn financial freedom and time freedom? Do you like dogs? Well, folks, on today's show, we're talking about time freedom plus financial freedom equals a dog lover's dream. And we're talking about the Tip Top Canine franchise story. Ryan, how many years have you been in business?
We've been in business for 14 years.
14 years. And if somebody out there listening today wants to become a Tip Top Canine franchise owner, how many weeks of their time do they have to devote to learning how to train dogs?
6 weeks, 60 hours a week.
How much money does it cost to buy a Tip Top Canine franchise?
$43,000.
$43,000.
That's it.
6 weeks of training, and you too can have time and financial freedom courtesy of Tip Top Canine.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrivetime Show.
Now, 3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, 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 and yes, Thrive Nation. It is a very special occasion because it is always profound when we are above the ground. Paul Hood, you're looking good. How are you, sir?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm excited you're here. Today's show is going to be a laser show, but I needed an accountability partner. I needed somebody who could vouch for the truthfulness of what we're going to talk about on today's show. We're talking about time freedom,
Okay,
financial freedom,
great.
and a dog lover's dream.
As long as it's not a cat lover's dream, I'm in. Dog lovers, we can do it.
I think that we'll talk offline about your feelings towards cats. But we are talking about time freedom, financial freedom, and a dog lover's dream.
All right,
And you're a CPA, correct?
I am.
You have what's called a fiduciary duty to work with your clients because you're also a financial, what do you call yourself, a financial
Yeah,
planner?
financial advisor. I'm a personal financial specialist with the AICPA.
What does that
Big
mean?
words. Well, what that means is I have certain designations. As a CPA, I have to maintain my independence. And this is just an offshoot of that independence with the financial side. So the AICPA, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, recognizes me as a financial specialist.
So you, if you were to lie on a podcast, radio show, whatever, exaggerate, would that be a bad thing in your
It
profession?
would be a bad thing because I have a moral and a legal, literally a legal obligation to do what's right in the interest of the general public and my clients.
So you could actually maybe lose your license to be a CPA if
I
you
could.
were on air lying about something.
Yeah, and that test is a 1% pass rate the first time. I ain't messing around with that.
So this is something you've worked hard for. I mention this because you have been the accountant for one of today's guests, Ryan Wimpy, for how long?
I don't know. Ryan was about 3 years.
Yeah, I think it's 3 years now.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you, Ryan, you have a Tip Top Canine franchise a brand now where but you started with a company called Tip Top Canine.
Yes.
When did you first have the idea to start Tip Top Canine?
It was probably about 14 years ago.
14 years ago?
Yep.
And at that point, you started, did you work for somebody at the time who
Yeah, I
trained
worked
dogs?
for someone else, and then they moved, and I had a guy come out and set me up, kind of doing what I'm doing now. It was like a trainer event where he came out. He actually lived with me for like 6 weeks. I'd already been training for a few years, but not necessarily, at that level where I was ready and had everything ready to go out on my own.
And there's a podcast called the Profit First Podcast.
Yes.
Starring Mike Michalowicz.
And you.
So I was a guest on his show.
Yes.
And he's been on my show before. And apparently you listened to the show.
Yes, I
and
did.
that's when you discovered me. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And so we've been working with you now, I think about 4 years. I feel like.
Yeah.
And from that time, you've grown from one location to how many locations?
We have our Tulsa location and 11 others.
11 others. 11. So things are going great.
Yes.
So on today's show, what we're going to do is we're going to walk through Franchising 101.
Okay.
And we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of franchising. And then we have a great guest visiting us from the great state of Louisiana who might have questions about franchising.
Awesome.
But we're going to go through, if I can, the good and the bad of running a Tip Top Canine franchise. But I thought we would start by actually calling an actual franchise owner who owns a Tip Top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that cool? Who are we calling?
Let's see. We have Seth Flint's available now. And
Seth
then
is now.
Adam is
Okay.
available in 30 minutes.
Tell us about this Seth character. Where's he located? What location does he have?
So he's in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
And Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, obviously. And he's been up there, I think, for 2 years now, running a location.
Now, is he doing a good job?
Yeah, he's doing a tremendous job. Last year, his high month last year was $35,000, but that was just his first year. And he's done substantially more than that, but we can't talk about it until it's actually in print next year. So next year you could see, but he's done tremendously.
Because in the franchise disclosure document, that's regulated by the federal government, and you can't make random claims. That's the thing about franchising. People have to know you cannot make exaggerated claims in the world of franchising. It's a no-no. It's regulated by the federal government. So you've got to say things that are true and proven in the. Oh, I think we just got rejected. It says, "Oops, something went wrong." We try to call somebody, and he sent me to voicemail. Devin, either A, Skype's not working, or B, he's rejecting me. So let me just try again here.
I bet he's out trying to add to the franchise to train cats.
Yeah, we're getting shut down. So maybe you can call him real quick and see if he's excited about picking up today. But as Devin's trying to make the Skype work here, let's get into this real quick here. The point of owning a business of any kind is, in your opinion, what, Paul?
Well, in owning a business would be to, I guess it's what the owner wants, but typically what we want is we want to create revenue and also build a business that's not contingent upon us showing up, to scale, if you will. Because like the power of this with Ryan, he had one location, they were doing most of the work. Now
Hello.
Hey, we got somebody on the line.
Oh, hey, Seth, real quick. You picking up the phone interrupted Paul. Paul, back to you, sir.
I was just saying, when Ryan first had his one shop, he was working hard, making decent money, but working hard. But then you helped him figure out how to take what he's done, like Dr. Z says. He nailed it, and then you guys scaled it. So now he's making money in 10 other locations to where he doesn't have to physically be there.
Hey, now, Seth, you are running the Tip Top Canine in Oklahoma City, correct?
Yes, sir.
How much gross revenue of sales are you doing? Did you do last month, the last completed month, which would be August of 2020?
We did $120,000 in sales last month.
Wow.
Billy.
You did how much of gross sales last week or last month?
Last month, 120,000.
Let me try that again.
Oh, Billy.
I'm having a hard time hearing what you're saying. What were the gross sales last month? One more time. Sorry, I'm just having a hard time.
It was 120,000.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, shaka baba. $120,000 of sales you just said?
Boom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you operate your business at a 1% profit margin?
No.
So it's more than 1%? Because, 1%, Paul, and you're a CPA, so help me out here, okay? You have a fiduciary duty to keep the show on track.
Yeah.
We got 120,000. If we did 1%, that means you would have made $1,200 last month.
Yeah.
Now, do you do more than do you do a 10% profit margin?
Well, we actually do more than that.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Now we're making some money. Now what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna rip the Tip Top Canine brand apart.
Let's go.
I'm a
right.
third owner.
Let's do it.
I own a third of it. I don't own all of it. I didn't start it, and I think it's my fiduciary duty to try to destroy the brand, and you can try to defend it. Okay, so I'm going to try to destroy the brand, and then we have a gentleman by the name of Ross who is a boss. He owns boats, and these boats are a couple $2 million a piece, right? Or more than they're $4 million boats. He owns $4 million boats. It's a company based in Louisiana. He has some questions because he's just here. He heard you just say you're doing $120,000 a month of gross revenue training dogs. So he probably has some questions. So I'm going to ask my question first, and Paul, you can one-up me with tough questions.
Sure.
I would think when you have a dog training franchise, you'd probably have to actually feed the dogs. Is this true?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you definitely do.
See, that's the catch. That's the catch. You get a tip-top canine. You can't just have complete financial freedom and time freedom. I mean, you have to actually feed the dogs.
Yeah. Can you feed them like gunpowder? Make them mean, or
What do you feed them?
cat food? What?
Dog food.
Dog food. Oh, that's a tough one.
Okay, second thing. I think a big part of the scam, part of the catch, the thing they don't tell you, they don't want you to know,
Right.
is I think, and they, by the way, is me because I'm part owner, is that you have to learn how to train dogs,
Yes.
Seth. Is that correct?
Yes,
Wow.
sir.
So how long do you have to go to college to learn how to train dogs?
How many weeks? How many months? How many years?
For me, it usually takes about 6 weeks.
What?
Are you saying that in 6
weeks.
weeks you could learn how to start a company that generates $120,000 a month of gross revenue in your case?
Yes, sir. It's a no-brainer.
Part of me, the part of me that wants to sell franchises to all the listeners, which is most of me, wants to say this sounds like a good deal, but I can't do it because I'm the devil's advocate. And I know Satan doesn't need an advocate, but on today's show, that's my job.
Yeah. Well, here's what I got a
Yeah,
question
yeah,
is why would anybody go to 5 or 6 years of college and get out and can't find a job when they can go to 6 weeks of training?
Yes, sir.
How much does it cost? That's my question, Seth. How much does it cost to buy a tip-top canine? Or Ryan, question for you. How much does it cost? What does it cost?
Yeah, right now it's $43,000.
$43,000?
includes all their.
Hang on. I have 3 kids I put through college. Each one of them was dramatically more than $43,000 to go to college. So I say again, for less than going to college, you're telling me this, Clay, less than going to college, and in 6 weeks, they can have a business that they can build to make $120,000 a month gross.
I really feel like the Tip Top Canine brand is hot. I mean, we've gone from one location now to how many locations again?
Well, we have 11.
11.
Yep.
All right, Seth. So here we go. If you own a Tip Top Canine, after those 6 weeks of training, I bet you that every week you're going to have to hop on a call with a coach consultant guy who makes sure that you're doing your stuff. I bet you that's the catch. Is that true?
That is 100% true.
See, that's the catch.
That's the catch. I bet is
gotta
the
do
call
stuff.
like at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, what time
or
is the
something?
call?
Mine is at 11, so it's pretty easy.
Pretty
Oh, getting into messing with people's lunchtime. That's what it does.
early. All the drunk DJs don't want to own a Tip Top because
No,
11 is so
11.
early.
No.
That is just getting out of
Now,
bedtime.
I bet you have to have a vehicle that you auto wrap and stuff. Is that part of the catch too there, Seth?
That sure is.
When did
We do
Ryan
have
spring that little detail on you?
Right away, signing up.
Right away?
Yes, sir.
I don't know, Clay.
Okay. So let's say this then. Do you have to pay fees to the to the mothership, to the franchise? Is it a profit game? Is that the deal, Seth?
It is. It's a profit game, but yeah, we do.
How much are
We
the
don't
fees?
mind.
What are the fees? What kind of fees do you pay?
I
bet you it's all of it.
Go ahead.
I bet you it's all of it. I mean, what are the fees? What kind of fees do you pay? I bet it's not free.
About 95%. No, I'm just kidding. It's 6%.
6%.
Hang on. So you get to keep 94%?
Yes, sir.
And you train for 6
Now-
whole weeks, and you have to eat lunch 30 minutes late.
No, this whole thing sounds it's just it's
yeah.
dumb.
No,
Too
I'm
good to be
out.
true. Too good
I'm
to be
out.
true. No. Now, Ryan, what
Yes.
other kind of fees? I mean, again, everyone needs to get a franchise disclosure document, and
Right.
all the fees are there. But what other kinds of fees or categories of fees are there?
So the royalty for ongoing maintenance, just of all of our systems and everything else, is a 6%, like you mentioned. That's the cost of owning. It is really cheap up front. And then there's another 6%, and that goes, we do a whole call center. So all of Seth's calls, his calendar is made so his incoming leads come in. He doesn't have to answer the phone. Our team does that. We have a call center that handles all his scheduling, all his inbound sales leads, books his appointments, books all his follow-up appointments, and everything else.
Wouldn't you want to have a call center yourself, Seth? I mean, doesn't it sound fun to you to staff all those people and to train them all and to have an office for them? Isn't that what you wanted to do?
Absolutely not. That's a big no.
Why?
No.
Why? Do you hate people? What's the deal? You like dogs?
No,
You don't like people?
no. It's a intense job. It's I love the system. So it's systematized, so I don't even have to think about that. I can focus on training dogs and training my new people and buying more franchises.
Now you said it's intense. Ryan, is your call center outdoors at a camp? No.
No, it's definitely
No, it's in the
indoors.
building.
It's
Okay.
indoors.
Not intense.
But we have to listen to all their calls. We have to monitor. We have to train them. We have to make sure they're following the scripts, hold them accountable, check their numbers every week. We can't just rely on them to do exactly what they're supposed to do. So there is a lot of accountability there.
So I'm going to go over, Seth, the 5 things you have to do every week if you own a Tip Top Canine franchise. And these are things you have to do. You got to tend the garden. You got to pull the weeds. This is the 5 things you have to do every week. Now, if I'm missing something, please correct me, Ryan. Okay. 1, you got to do the group interview every single week. We'll get into that in a minute. You have to do the group interview every week. 2, you got to get those Google reviews. You got to get Google reviews every single week. You got to do those $1 first lessons. You got to do that. You got to get those video reviews, and then you got to wow people when you train their dog. You got to wow people with the dog trainers. The first lesson's $1, right? So you got to wow people.
Yes.
Seth, am I missing something? The group interview, get reviews, $1 first lesson, video reviews. You got to wow people. Is that? Am I missing something?
You hit it right on the head. That's exactly what we have to do.
So
The only thing I may add is
Yeah, go
just
for it.
holding our trainers accountable to their checklists and to make sure they do what they're supposed to do and to their time frames.
So holding team accountable for
Yeah.
checklists and systems.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Seth, how much of this stuff did you come up with? I mean, are you trying to come up with some new great ideas? Is this some of the stuff from you or what?
No. I mean, I was there early on, but I mean, all of the systems are laid out, so anyone can just pick it up and run with it, and it's super simplified, very, very easy to do.
So you're saying there is a path, a predetermined, pre-tested path to success, and all you have to do is execute and work hard.
Correct. Yes,
And he's
sir.
a super
Work
hard
hard.
worker. So his location in 2 years, that's where it took our Tulsa location 8 to 9 years to get to.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
get it. It seems like there's a scam involved here
Well,
somewhere.
he did, so there was some hard work involved, right? Seth?
Oh.
A lot of hard work.
Okay,
fun, though.
shush it. Shawshank Redemption, sir. Zip it. Zippy Longstocking. Zip it. Here's the deal. We now have a guest here who's from Louisiana. Sir, could you introduce yourself to the Thrive Nation before you begin to interrogate this incredible dog training owner who refuses to zip it? I think we just lost him. He got offended. Let me call him right back. I'm calling him back. This guy. When you shush a guy, they hang up on
He
you.
shushed it. He was
People
out.
don't like to be shushed.
No, it was the pinky to the mouth. That,
Okay, let me.
that you
We'll
picked
come
up
back.
on.
We'll come back, and then we'll introduce our guest here. I feel like this guy's. This guy. Are you back there? You get offended when I shushed
Yes,
you?
sir.
Well, hey, listen. The only reason I shushed you is because I've never shushed a guest before, and I want to see what would happen. This guy.
You see,
I
I'm
know.
afraid
They
of
hang
Seth.
up.
He's a physically strong man.
He's pretty strong.
They hung up.
He'll take it on me next time we meet. So, sir, could you introduce yourself to the Thrive Nation?
Yeah. I'm Ross Clark. I'm the CEO of Basin Fleeting. We're a barge fleeting repair and transportation company based out of Louisiana.
What does a boat cost? One of these boats you have?
They can range anywhere, but
I
the
mean,
ones we use, a brand new one would be about $4 million.
Now, are they called boats? Can you ski behind them?
No, sir. No, sir.
No.
These are commercial boats meant for working the waterways. There's push boats, tugboats, all meant for different jobs along the river.
So this guy, for how much was the franchise, Seth? Again, Seth?
It was
It's $43,000.
$43,000. He's got a business doing $120,000 a month of revenue last month, he says. Ross, what questions would you have for Seth? Because Seth, you were not a business owner, I believe, 2 years ago. Am I correct? 2 years ago?
I was not.
And now you are. So what
And what were
questions
you
would
doing before dog
what
training?
What were you doing before dog training?
I was youth pastor at a church in Tulsa.
Youth pastor? Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
Ross, what questions would you have for Seth about a tip-top canine?
I would say as another business owner, if it was something I wanted to diversify into, how involved would I need to be once it's up and running? Could I hire someone to do that so I can spend my time doing other investments or what? How would that look?
Yeah, you could definitely. You can get other people involved. That's what I do. I'm really trying to work myself out of a job so I can own more of these. I really had to work in the business for quite a while to get to this point, and now I have a phenomenal staff, but they can do all of the work for me. So now I'm really focusing on the business, and it's going really, really good. And it didn't obviously it hasn't taken long. 2 years we are rocking and rolling.
So, Ryan, I want to get your take on this.
Yes.
What kind of person should be reaching out to buy a tip-top canine, and what person shouldn't? Because I know if you buy an OxyFresh, some of our
Right.
listeners go to OxyFresh, it's oxifresh.com. That's a business we would call an absent owner business, where almost nobody who buys an OxyFresh chooses to also clean carpets. Whereas your business, I believe the Tip-Top would be a little more hands-on. Share
It's
with
going
us.
to be a little more hands-on. Absent owner, you're going to ask for problems because normally the owner is going to be the best dog trainer, and he's going to have to at least oversee, hold people accountable, check their dogs, make sure and train new people. So, like, I'm still involved in our location here in Tulsa. First off, I still like it. I like to train dogs. I like to do it. But as far as 100%, so I mean, it's no problem taking weeks off or whatever as soon as you have a staff. But in the beginning, it's not completely hands off because it does take some time to train people.
Clay, you talk a lot about, along those lines, delegating versus subjugating. I think what you're saying, Ryan, is that you can get to a point where you delegate, even if
Right.
it's a franchise, even if it's a proven system, but you don't just turn over the reins and leave for 2 or 3 years. You have
Yeah,
to
and you
still
can't-
monitor. You
right.
still have to, and unless you partner up with somebody and they have a vested interest in it, but you can delegate, but you still have to monitor and make sure people are walking the
Yes,
walk.
that's 100% correct.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we get this idea. So, Ross, first thing, this business here, I think for your dynamic would probably not be a good fit, whereas like an OxyFresh would be, because of the amount of intensity it requires to be hands-on there. But let's pretend for a second that this was something like an OxyFresh or something where you didn't have to be hands-on. What other questions would you have about franchising for either Ryan or Paul or Seth? Any other questions about that? Do you have any other questions about franchising?
Not really. It doesn't sound like they have too many. Are there any restrictions involved with this particular franchise, like you can't own another business or anything like that?
If you buy like a Chick-fil-A, yes, you can't own anything else. Chick-fil-A. There's many brands that are like that. And I don't want to state the names of all of them on the air because they change from year to year. But I can say a Tip Top, Ryan, you wouldn't have a problem with someone
No,
buying another
not at all.
business as long as they knew how to personally train dogs.
Right.
Well,
So-
and Ryan, but you are selective though, because you don't make money signing people up. This is
No.
not some pyramid scheme. You're going to invest a lot
No,
of
that-
time and energy.
Correct.
You're creating wealth by leveraging time, people, and money, by creating an opportunity for other people to produce $120,000 a month.
Correct.
So your income, literally your income, your success is based on the success of other people. So you're not just out there signing anybody and everybody up
sir.
that shows up for some sort of presentation at your house, because you've got to be. It takes a lot of time investment from you and your people
Well,
as
it's
well.
a big time investment, yes.
And I get a lot of people reaching out to us who are very interested in owning a Tip Top canine. But what happens is they are assuming that anybody who calls, we're going to go ahead and give them a franchise. And they assume that, and they assume it because I think that's what they're used to.
Right.
They've heard from people, if you call today and you want to buy a sandwich franchise, they'll sell one to anybody. But at Tip Top, it's really different because you're training animals.
Yeah, you're training animals, and these are like people's children, right? So people really, really, truly care. And there is some nuance to it. It does take some time to learn. Like I said, your team handles all the marketing,
Yep.
right? So all the marketing, all the business coaching side, and then our call center team handles all of all the scheduling and the fielding of all the leads. But then we train you basically to do a job,
Yeah.
right? And then how to manage other people doing that job.
Well, what's funny today, I was on a call with, I was actually number one in the nation, Clay, I don't know if you know this, the last 7 years in a row with the companies we work with on the financial side and, helping people. And we were on a call today with one of our outsourced institutional money managers, and they're talking about how a very important player in their portfolio is not only pharmaceuticals for humans, but pharmaceuticals for animals, because people do think of them as
They
their
do.
kids. Yeah. My cows are my kids because I get a better tax deduction for them. So, I can see how that happens.
Now, I want to make sure that everybody gets this because, Seth, what does a day look like in the life of you as a Tip Top canine owner? I mean, what time are you waking up? What time do you go to bed? What time? Just walk us through your typical day, just so we kind of get the flow. If we wanted to buy a Tip Top canine.
Yeah, well, I have a 10-month-old baby with me right now, so that kind of factors in. But no, my wife and I, we typically get up about 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and then we do some of our, we've learned from you, meta time, and hang out, go over some stuff, go over a plan for the day. Then typically we will have a few meetings in the morning, especially on like our Mondays or beginning of the week. We're starting it out, and then it's really training with my people constantly. Something I've learned from you is trust but verify.
Oh,
and,
say that again. Say that again. Say it again.
Trust but verify.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's great. That's
I'm
great.
gonna write that down. I've never heard that. That's good.
Yes!
That's really good.
We expect very high result or very high production, but we're not just leaving it up to them. We're constantly coaching and making sure everybody's doing their job well.
Right.
We have transparency reports that we're constantly checking. We are working with every single client. I will go to our $1, which is our consultations, typically in the afternoon, evening. And I typically get home around, 7:30, 8 o'clock, sometimes 9 o'clock in the evening.
Now, okay, I got two more little breakdowns I want to get before Seth, we let you get back to doing what you're doing. And I you know what, you are I'm messing with you today, but you're probably one of the coolest dudes I've met in a long time. I mean, it's really great. I do want to ask you now, and again, there's no right way to answer this question, and I'm not even asking you to answer the question. I'm going to throw a non-question at you, and you just think about it. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
I don't know how to say this, but the football players are not standing for the anthem. So I'm not saying me, I'm done. I won't watch it. It's dead. No more. The NFL is not for long with me. The flag is the NFL logo. The brand. Well, when Ryan wasn't looking, I took one of the tip-top canine dogs they were training, and I said, "Poop here on the NFL logo." And the dog has been so well trained, it was able to just poop. And then Ryan said, "What are you doing with the dog?" I'm just making sure the dogs are well trained on this NFL flag. I'm done. I'm a diehard Patriots fan. I'm a diehard Bill Belichick fan. But with all the negative, the kneeling, all the jackassery, I can't watch it anymore. I'm not asking you what you're doing, but that's the question I want to ask right now. And I'm not asking you to answer the question. I'm just saying, it's tough.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a very, very big Patriots fan. So I just absolutely love Bill Belichick.
Oh, I
he
love Bill
is
Belichick.
one of my all-time favorites.
Oh,
and
Billy.
But outside of that, I'm not as heavily into it as I used to be. We'll just say that.
Billy.
We love Bill Belichick. Okay, but my final 2 points I had here was Michael Gerber says this. He says, the difference between great people and everybody else is that great people create their lives actively, while everybody else is created by their lives, passively waiting to see where life takes them next. The difference between the two is living fully and just existing. When did it occur to you, Seth, that you could own a tip-top canine franchise?
As soon as Ryan started talking about it when I was working out there for him.
What's been the most terrible part about owning a tip-top where you go, in retrospect, I wish I would have known that, or maybe there wasn't that moment. What's the worst? Tell us what's the worst part of owning a tip top where it's just absolutely been a nightmare. Would you get bit by White Fang? Did Cujo show up for a $1 training? Did somebody bring a bear in and claim it was a dog?
He dominates Cujos. You don't
Tell
even
us
know.
what's been the worst part?
Working with Cujo's my favorite. Those are my favorite. No, I think the hardest part is actually just hiring good people. That's always but I feel like that's a common thread in a lot of businesses. It's hiring really, really high quality people. We're super selective. I want high character. Bill Belichick is quoted, "Talent sets the floor, but character sets your ceiling."
Oh.
And we are all about character.
Well done
here. And so
you're dropping knowledge bombs today, dude. That's impressive. All right, so
for a while he had 4 or 5 week wait list and 5 or 6 weeks out. The call center is like, "Hey, just so you know, his wait list is like 6 weeks right now,w." And I'm like, "Dear
But
Lord.
You're doing the group interview now. The group interview sets you free. And the group interview, I want to make sure we get this. The group interview is where you use every in my case, every Thursday night at 5:30. Anybody who wants to work with me or for me, I say, that sounds great. And at 5:30 on Thursday, you can be there. I'm excited for you. You can be there. You need to be there. It's so exciting. We have 40 to 50 candidates that show up. Paul, probably 20 that figured out how to be on time.
Yeah.
And then probably 7 that know what's going on. People that are aware of things like, dress to impress, maybe don't, smoke in the lobby, that kind of stuff. Now you're down to like and we find good people, but is that similar to you there, Seth? I mean, do you have to do the group interview every week or is that how you find good people?
Yes, sir. We've been doing this for years. Before I moved out here, I ran the group interviews for Tip Top Tulsa.
Nice.
For about a year and a half ish.
Now, hey,
and that's how you do it.
Now, Ryan, are we calling another Tip Top Canine owner?
Yeah, I think our Texas location, he's available. He's just getting out of appointment right now.
Okay, and hey, by the way, you set the bar pretty high for our next guest, but we're going to call him up right now, and hopefully he can hang with you. But I appreciate you, Seth. You're a great American.
Yes, sir.
I hated to have to shush you twice, but you can shush me. You want to shush me real quick? You want to shush? You want to return the shush?
No, sir. It's
Okay.
fine.
All right. Well, I appreciate you,
shush me
brother.
all you want.
All right. Take care, brother. Have a great day.
Have a good one, guys.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.
Okay. Who are we calling next?
South Lake.
South Lake. Oh, South Lake. Okay. And now South Lake, is he selling some stuff? South Lake.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's selling a lot.
Who sells more, South Lake or Oklahoma City?
They're starting to be tied up now this year. They're
Really?
starting to be tied up. Yeah.
Dirty. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me. These
He
guys.
did. South Lake won our top sales award last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Seth sent me a video. You're talking about Cujo. He sent me a video, and I mean, I'm like, you're training that?
Hey, we've
Dear
got
Lord.
Hey,
But
we've got a Hagen here. This guy runs Hagen Ministries. We got him in the studio. I'm gonna have him hop on the mic with you for a minute. I want to ask him some spiritual questions as we're
Absolutely.
calling up this guest. I want to have some spiritual questions there. We gotta get Hagen on the mic here. We gotta get him on the mic. Okay.
Like, would Jesus shush a person?
Yeah,
was you gonna ask him
would
that?
Jesus train dogs? I mean, there's a lot of questions I want to. Let's see. We'll ask him. We'll see what happens here. Okay. Here we go. We're calling.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Hey, real quick, we have the COO of Rhema Ministries on the show as well. Craig, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Now, here's the deal. Craig has no knowledge of anything we're going to talk about on today's show. I just told him to come by the studio because I wanted him to see how we do it, how it works. Craig, do you have a spiritual tip for our guest and any other guests out there as they're going through this 2020 chaos? Is there a verse that you're directing people to? Is there a core message you want to tell people about?
Right now?
Yeah. Is there a certain sermon you just did you want to direct us to?
Of course, not to fear. You know, it is interesting because the Bible tells us that God has not given us a spirit of fear. So if God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, then it has to be the devil. And anything from the devil is not good, obviously. And so right now I'm telling people, calm down. It's going to be okay. God's still in control here. You know, the doctors are not in control. God's in control. He's been in control for a long time, and we need to calm down, fear not, and move forward.
Hey, did you see this today, Adam, down there in South Lake? Did you ever read the Huffington Post?
I try not to, but as far as Bible verses go that sum up 2020, I would have gone with Jesus wept.
Oh, well, okay.
That might be a good one there.
Well, I'm going to read this real quick. This is a real thing. This is today in the Huffington Post. This is a crazy thing. Paul, look at this. It's blowing your mind. Huffington Post here today. There is an op-ed endorsing becoming a Satanist in the Huffington Post today. The article is titled, "The Death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg Pushed Me to Join the Satanic Temple."
That's crazy.
It says, "I am a 40-something attorney and mother who lives in a quiet neighborhood with a yard and a garage full of scooters and soccer balls. I'm not the type of person who would normally consider becoming a Satanist, but these are not normal times." And they go on to explain that because so many Christians are in favor of liberty and they're quoting scripture everywhere and it's becoming religiously divisive, they had to take a side and they've chosen the devil. Adam, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being super scared of the virus, 1 being not scared at all, how scared are you of the coronavirus?
Not scared at all.
Like a 0?
Yeah. Is this their negatives on the scale?
Are you
or
you
just
turning
go
to
down
the
zero?
dark Lord in your times of need? Are you denouncing your faith and turning to the dark Lord?
Not as of yet.
Can you even understand the idea? I mean, as a professional dog trainer, can you even understand the idea of becoming satanic?
No. I think it's a bit hyperbolic because it is media and Huffington Post that people are just wanting to be anti-Christian, and this is their outlet and way of doing that, whether they actually believe in God or devil or anything in between.
Have you, so far since owning a Tip Top Canine, you've been in the Tip Top Canine game for about 2 years, is that right? 2 years or maybe 3 years? Or how long?
Yeah, just over 2 years now.
And you were, before owning a Tip Top Canine, you were in the mortgage business, is that right?
Correct.
And have you ever trained any satanic dogs? I mean, up to this point, I mean, how many dogs have you trained that are just straight satanic?
I have had a few that I had suspicions about, but none so far.
Give
have
me a horror
professed
story.
satanic beliefs.
A horror story. Tell me the one where you go, I wish I would not have trained that dog. Because I don't want anybody filling out this form who thinks that every single dog is going to be this beautiful puppy. Has there been a one you've trained where you said, I probably should not have trained that? I'm not looking for a name. I'm not looking for specifics. I just want to know. Give us some. Was it crazy? Was it White Fang? Was it Cujo? Who was the crazy dog?
We had a pretty special one. It was last year. I was there to pick up the dog for boot camp. And that's where you take the dog for training at our facility. It's a big dog. It was a lab mastiff mix, probably about 90, 95 pounds. And the owner opened the door, and the dog swung the door the rest of the way open, busted out of the front door. As it was running past me, turned around, bit the back of my leg, and then ran off, chasing and cornering people as I'm bleeding, running after this dog to catch it.
Now, I'm bringing this up.
Is that good enough?
This show is designed to share the truth, Paul, about owning a tip-top canine.
Yeah, well, I have a question. Do you guys ever, like if I call you and it's kind of, people sometimes have troubled kids and the people come and take them in the middle of the night. Do you guys do that too? Say,
Troubled
listen,
dogs?
I'm afraid of looking my dog in the eye, and can you just come and like take him in the middle of the night when he's sleepy and doesn't understand? Do you ever do that? Come on.
I say we have a 4-leg minimum on training, so maybe.
So I'm not talking about taking my kids; they're all out of the house. I don't want them, but the dog thing. And I also so when you're talking about Satan and everything, I have an issue. Is it okay to eat deviled eggs?
I'd call them angel eggs.
Angels. Okay, we'll change the name because I'm sorry.
What about
good.
angel food cake?
Angel food cake. You can have angel food cake and deviled eggs. They offset each other.
Hey, real quick,
Good deal.
President Trump right now is flying in doing these runway rallies, and he's flying in on Air Force One, and he keeps the song he flies into is this song right here. I'm just going to cue it up. He's talking about the air of the night. What's your take on this song, Paul? You like this song?
I love this song.
Oh, does this song move the needle for you there, Adam, down there in South Lake? Is this a big song for you?
I am not super familiar with this song, I have to be honest.
Hey,
What?
Listen here.
What's
listen here.
that all
We
about?
thought we
Shush him.
listen to the sound of a great dog trainer who doesn't know about the best song in American history. Here we
No
go.
kidding.
Here, let me crank it up here real quick. Adam, you'll remember the drums. Trump flies in for these runway
Love it.
rallies. Have you seen him do this? It's great. Every night. I watch every night. He did three rallies in one day the other day. Three in one day. He flies in. This is the part. Here we go. Wait a second. Here we go. Get ready. Oh, yeah.
Here comes the drums.
Get ready. Get psychologically prepared, Adam.
Here it comes.
This is when a dog needs to be sent home. You call in the middle of the night. You can feel it. Adam says, man, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. I got to call their parents to come pick up this dog. Here we go. You call in the air of the night. It's bad. You got to call in the middle of the night.
You do?
Come pick up this kid. God, the buildup is amazing.
It is.
Here we go.
Just can't wait.
Here we go. Adam has a great voice when he's singing. This is him. This is audio of him calling, saying, pick up your dog. But seriously, how often can you not train a dog? When you do a $1 lesson, how often can you not train a dog? Seriously, we have to call the parents and say, I can't train this thing.
I'm pretty good at screening out the ones that I don't think will work. It's probably 1 out of 20, 1 out of 30 that I just don't think is
Okay,
an optimal
1 out of
fit
20, 1
for
out
what
of
we
30.
do.
We'll get Ryan's take on that in a minute here.
Do they?
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Let me go back. See, that was, I'm almost at it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is so 1 out of 30 times you say this dog isn't a good fit. You got to come take this dog. Here we go. This is what he says. He says, listen, folks, you got to come pick up your dog. It's not working out because, oh, and in the middle of the night. I don't know, Ryan, you can shout it out. Do you advise that we call clients in the middle of the night and say, pick up your dog? Has that ever happened? We don't really do that, do we? We call them the next day. We don't in the middle. Craig, I want to ask you: have you, as a pastor, I want to get your take on this. As a pastor, I mean, have you seen a demonic dog before?
I've seen a couple of dogs that look pretty demonic, but we cast the devil out of them. They're okay.
On a serious note, have you seen demonic people?
Yeah, actually, I ran into that situation in Albania a couple of years ago.
Being serious?
I'm being serious. After service one night, though, they brought this young lady up, and all of a sudden she just started acting demonic. Kind of,
What you would think, yeah.
I mean, just talking,
Oh, man.
talking things like just really weird stuff, and
Gross.
then she like fell on the floor, and so I went down to the floor, began to pray for her, and cast the spirit out of her, like 20 minutes or so, and she was perfectly normal.
So, folks, this is just in. If you have a demonic dog, do not bring it to Tip Top Canine. They don't cast out demonic spirits from your dogs. So, Adam, you were in the mortgage business before. Now you're in the Tip Top Canine business. What kind of gross sales are you doing every month?
Well, this is the third month in a row we'll hit over $60,000.
$60,000. So that's impressive stuff. And again, you're doing a great job. What advice would you have for somebody out there that's considering buying a Tip Top Canine? Do you have any pro tips you might say? Hey, you'd be a good fit for this if.
You would be a good fit for this if you are willing and able to work a lot of hours. This is a numbers game. Animals need care 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
So if it's just you, you're doing all the work. And it's 7 a.m. to roughly 9 p.m. 7 days a week. So, yeah, buckle up. But if you can handle that for a little while until you can hire people and build a team, then you're gonna be good.
Craig, you have no knowledge of the dog training industry. I've never asked you about it before. We never talked about it.
No, never talked
But this
about
is
it.
a show where you play some Phil Collins. Paul, you talk about franchising. Talk about financial freedom. We're talking about large boats.
Yes.
We're talking about a lot of stuff on this show. Do you have a dog there, Craig?
Actually, at my house, we have lots of dogs.
How many dogs?
We'll see. My wife, she takes in foster dogs. In fact, we just got rid of a puppy litter of 7 dogs last week.
How many dogs do you have right now in your house?
I have 3 of my own.
And then do you train them yourself?
Oh, yeah, of course. We actually just line up and do some calisthenics, in the morning time.
Do you train your dogs?
No, actually, I don't train my dogs.
Who does?
Well, my dogs are doing pretty good. I mean, they're
just sort of like savage animals?
Yeah, they're all fine.
So
but,
you're not a big dog train guy?
No, I'm not a big dog trainer guy, but actually I do have one dog. My wife just got a puppy the other day, and I might need to call Ryan on that one.
It's a little bit wild. What kind of dog is that?
It's actually a miniature Dachshund.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, folks, let me listen to this here. If just as a recap here, if you're out there today and you're looking to create time freedom and financial freedom, and I know you are, and you like dogs, so love dogs, you're into a dog, you're a dog person, and you're willing to put in the time needed to learn the system, I encourage you to go to Tip Top Canine today, tiptopcanine.com. That's tiptopcanine.com. Go there, fill out the form, and we'll reach out to you. And then we'll schedule Discovery Day to see if you're a good fit. And then after that, if you're a good fit and the Wimpies think that you're a good fit, you think you're a good fit, if the math makes sense, we go over the franchise disclosure document, then you can buy a franchise. And that's how it works. Paul, do you have any other thoughts you want to share?
Yeah, I just, as a CPA, I just feel obligated to be devil's advocate, like you said.
Whoa.
And have the disclaimer. You got to be ready to spend 20% of what you would in college.
Yep.
And be willing to train for 6 weeks instead of 5 years.
Do you need to have a large boat that costs millions of dollars based in Louisiana?
No, that comes after you have the franchise.
So you get the dog training franchise, then you buy the boats.
Yeah. Or you can go to college for 5 or 6 or 7 years and spend $100,000, $150,000 and get out with no job.
Adam, any other hot takes you want to share before we let you get back to training dogs and spend a wonderful time with your wonderful wife?
Nothing else comes to mind. It's been a interesting 2 years, has ups and downs, but we're finally crossing over the Rainbow Bridge to the land of time and financial freedom here pretty soon.
Oh, nice.
Adam, I got one more question before you go. So I need some marriage advice.
Oh, whoa, wow.
So
Shaka
my
Baba.
wife will troll Facebook, and she'll show me somebody just found a box full of puppies on the side of the road. Why can't that be me? That is delusional. Would you not? How can I fix that? That she wants to find a box full of puppies on the side of the road.
Bring a box full of puppies home for 24 hours, and that'll be the end of that.
Got good. I knew he would have the answer.
Yeah, if you're out there today and you love dogs, that's a great thing. If you want to have time and financial freedom, that's a great thing. Start the conversation today by going to tiptopcanine.com, tiptopcanine.com. You can schedule an assessment right there, kind of an evaluation, kind of is it a good fit for you? Is it a good fit for them? And if you're looking for a CPA, Paul, what's your website?
hoodcpas.com, hoodcpas.com.
And you have clients all over the country?
Yeah, we have 5 physical locations. We have clients in almost every state in the United States.
What would you charge to outsource your CFO services?
To outsource my CFO services?
Well, like if somebody wants a CFO, right?
Oh, okay.
And they actually want a CFO, but they don't want to hire a full-time guy. What does that cost? Do you do that?
Yeah, we do a little bit of coaching. I guess you'd be CFO stuff, and it's like $400 or $500 a month.
What if somebody wants like a CFO, but they don't want to have a full-time CFO? What would that cost?
Yeah, well, I've done it. We've done it for about $2,000 a month.
Okay, awesome. And that's something maybe you and Ross can connect about too, because Ross he's growing the business and maybe looking for a solid CFO kind of guy.
Yeah.
So and then let's get Ryan back on the microphone here. And then hey, one more time, Mr. Hagan, what's your church website? Tell us about your church website. Where can we hear more good stuff at Rhema?
Actually, our ministry website is rhema.org. That's RHEMA.org.
What does Rhema mean?
Rhema actually is a Greek word that means the spoken word.
Spoken word?
The spoken word, yes.
Spoken word.
And it actually started out because we have a Bible college, and the Rhema Bible Training College actually is the name. rbtc.org is website. And our college is to train ministers and men and women want to know more about the Bible, but really the spoken word, being able to speak the word.
What does that cost to go to Rhema Bible College?
Actually, the cost per year is I think $2,800
a year.
A year.
$2,800 a year.
$2,800 a year.
How many pastors around the country now, or I guess around the world, are Rhema graduates?
Well, we have, like I said, colleges all over the world, and right now we were at 88,000 graduates around the world.
88,000 graduates?
88,000.
How many people have turned to Christ and become a Christian as a result of Rhema Ministries that you know about?
I don't even have a count, but we know millions, are happening.
Kind of a cool story. Ran into a guy. I told him I would remain anonymous, but I told him we'd be connected here. He came to one of our, Paul, one of these COVID chaos briefings where we got gathered. Sure. Pastor Brian Gibson was there, and we were just sharing the truth about the fatality rate of COVID-19 and the lack thereof, and the nefariousness of the tests that are false positives. He came to that because he just wanted to know, and then he found a local church. And he was like, with Rhema, you kind of know about God in Tulsa. But he's like, telling me, he's like, because of Rhema, you kind of know about God. That's what he said. You kind of know about God in Tulsa. He's like, but I started getting into it. And I was telling him about the Believer's Authority book.
Yeah.
And he's like, is it real stuff? And I said, well, you might not believe in God, but the Huffington Post has people who believe in Satan. So I'd pick a team.
Right.
I mean, someone's got to stand up against Team Pro Satan. So that was a pretty interesting thing. But he told me because of Rhema, everyone knows about Christ in Tulsa. He's like, but I never thought it was literal. And so it's pretty cool to hear the impact you guys are making.
Awesome.
So keep it up, dude.
Good job.
Amen.
Okay. And then, Ryan, back to you real quick here, and then we'll wrap up today's show. And Adam, thank you for joining us so much, man. I really do appreciate you.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
You're a great American. See you, buddy. Okay, so Ryan, what's your final take on either Heir of the Night, Phil Collins?
Yeah.
Rhema Bible College.
Love that. Who doesn't love that
Canine
song?
Franchising.
So I went to Rhema, actually. And
you did?
then, one of Pastor Craig's message, this last one was, or not last one, but I guess last month, 2020 is the best year ever.
Yeah.
And for dog trainers, it really has been.
Wait a second. No.
Yeah.
No.
Shush me. Okay.
You said the other day, I'm shushing myself. You said the other day that you don't listen to secular music.
No, I don't.
Now, you said that, and he said it real fast. He's like, I don't listen to secular music. Gone. It was gone. He said, I don't listen to secular music. I want to get your take on this. When did you start not listening to secular music? What was that all about?
So the guy who originally trained me for dog training, he was like, hey, he's why I got saved, right? And then
who's that guy?
His name's Tim Smith.
And Tim Smith. And how old were you at that point?
Let's see. I think I was like 21, 22.
Okay. And so he said what to you?
And he was like, dude, you got to stop listening. You can't listen to demonic rap with the F-bomb when you're saved. And I'm like, what? He's like, you got to listen to other stuff. And he's like, we need to get you some other CDs. And then he's like, and we need to go to church. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, Rhema is just around the corner. And I was like, he's from California. And I was like, the Christmas Light Place? And he's like, are you kidding me? You live 3 miles from like a huge mega church that we like talk about in California. And I'm like, really?
Really?
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
that.
2020 this has actually been amazing for dog trainers because what happened is everyone got quarantined. Lead flow and everything did go down for a few weeks while people were panicked. And so everyone kind of shrunk for a few weeks. And then everyone cleared out all the shelters. Everyone got a dog, even the bad dogs that,
Ross,
how
has 2020 been on your business? Does it impacted it in a negative way or positive way? How has it impacted your industry?
Yeah, it took a minute, but the COVID's definitely slowing down the refineries, slowing down everything on the water. It's slow.
It's slower.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're based in Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure we have a ton of people in the Gulf of Mexico listening right now.
Sure.
What services do you guys offer with your business?
Barge fleeting, repair, and transportation in the Berwick Bay area. If you're on the water, you know that mile marker.
So who do you sell to? Like what kind of businesses?
All the waterway operators, barge companies, their customers, and their vendors. We kind of fit in all pieces.
Are you on the water every day?
Yes, sir.
You're out there on the ocean?
Nope, just the waterways, the ICW. We're right where the ICW meets the Atchafalaya. We're in the Y of that area.
The ICW, where it meets the what?
The Atchafalaya.
How do you spell that? Atchafalaya?
Atchafalaya. So.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Yeah.
I'm looking this up. I think you're making this stuff up. This is you're trying to trick me here on the show. What he's doing here, Paul, is he's talking about the R valve and the inline. He just wants to see if I know anything about anything. Okay, let me click here.
Well, it's kind of like the Port of Catoosa. They're moving stuff off big ships.
Those
big ships come in off the ocean. They can't just fly down the road, down the waterways. They have to be, directed and pushed and pulled. And I still think you should try to ski behind one of those suckers. That might be fun.
How long does it take to get to the ocean from where you are?
We're 18 miles from the Gulf, so not
18
long
miles.
at all.
So does it feel like a swamp?
Oh yeah,
It feels swampy.
It's the swamp.
Do you live near a swamp?
Yeah.
You do?
That's it. Cypress trees and marsh. That's where we're
How many
at.
times do you see an alligator just running down the road?
Every day.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we get them on the yard. We
On the yard?
Yeah.
And are they mean guys?
No, not at all. That's definitely a myth.
Alligators are little like buddies, or like hey guys, what's up?
I mean, I wouldn't go jumping on one, but yeah, they keep to their own for
Do
sure.
you eat alligators?
Yeah.
Do you like the taste of alligators?
Yeah, I like it all right. It's got to be cooked right for sure, and it's got to be the right part of the alligator.
What does it taste like?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I got a question for him, Clay.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Bobby Boucher play football?
Oh yeah.
You saw Bobby? I want to go see Bobby Boucher play football.
Yeah.
Oh man, do people talk like that down there? They kind of.
Not where I'm at. It's funny. You can go 15 minutes in one direction or the other, and get total coon ass. For sure.
Really? How often do you see snakes?
All the time.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, Shaka Baba. You see them every day?
Not so much every day, but I'm not looking for them every day.
Wow. You do see alligators like once a week?
Oh yeah. During the summer for sure, they'll crawl on up out of the water and sunbathe and all that stuff.
Sunbathe?
Yeah, they're.
They lay on their
cold-blooded.
back?
Nope, just laying out, trying to warm up.
Like what? You call them a school or a herd? What do you call a bunch of alligators hanging out?
I don't know, a bunch of alligators hanging out.
Are they in a group, a squad?
No, not too much. But during high water, the water comes up over our property, and my marine ops manager tends to think one's watching for him to come down out of the stairs for sure.
Oh my gosh, that is Paul. How often do you encounter an alligator at Hood CPAs? I mean,
well, we have a couple gators on our property, but you put a key on them and turn them on. So I don't
Oh.
know. Alligator.
I went to the gator wrestling place down there in New Orleans.
There's
or
a
whatever. The guy that
gator-
was on TV. What's the guy's name?
What?
Troy Landry, maybe?
Yes. And
he
so
actually he lives like 15 minutes.
No.
I know him. Yeah,
you know like the whole farm and everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so there was this guy there, and he was missing an arm when I saw the video, and so he'll like put his hand in the alligator's mouth, and then they'll snap, right? Well, one time he turned around and it tagged him, and then death rolled, ripped his arm off.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's not Troy Landry. So Troy Landry's off of Swamp People.
No,
They
yeah,
do
the
that.
swamp people. No, it's one of
Yeah.
his guys.
Oh,
it's
one of his
like
guys.
apprentices that was.
Oh man.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see that.
Ooh.
Oh, Shaka Baba.
It's crazy.
That's a little crazy. Okay, so folks, if you're out there today, a pro tip, and you see an alligator, don't pet it under the chin like you would like a dog. Like a dog, you don't want to get up close to it and like snuggle it and I don't think alligators are man's best friend, but if you want to get out there and you want to create time freedom and financial freedom, and you love dogs, and I know you do, check out tiptopk9.com. And now, without any further ado, we're going to end today's show with a boom, because we end each and every show with a boom, because boom stands for big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. And now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom! Stop what you're doing and think about this for a second. What would happen if your company was suddenly able to generate exponentially more quality sales leads? That would be incredible. What would happen if your company came up at the top or near the top of the Google search engine results? Well, I would just feel overwhelmed with all that business. How many thousands of dollars in lost sales or millions of dollars in lost sales are you missing out on simply because your potential customers can't find you when they go online to search for the products and services that you offer? I refuse to think that thought because I don't want any more business. Unless you are a dirty communist that hates money, my new book, Search Engine Domination, will help you grow your business. In my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate the search engine results. What do you mean by dominate? You see, in my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate search engine results. Download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com. I repeat, that's thebestseobook.com.
My name is Amy Baltimore, and I am a CPA in Covington, Tennessee. I've been working with the Thrive team now for about a year. One of the first things that they did was to update my website and my search engine optimization. I prior had a website, but I was not being found on Google, and all of my new business was coming through referrals from friends, family, etc. And right away, I started to see results. People were calling and coming in saying that they found me on Google. They just Googled CPA near me, and there I was at the top of the page. And so it's been a great help to my business.
Again, you can download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com.
Hey, this is Dustin Huff. I'm with Keystone Harbor Marina. We joined Thrive back in January and have been working with these guys for about 7 months. During that time period, we have moved up our Google rank through reviews and SEO processes that we've compiled through these guys. Our leads have gone from about 4 a week to now 165 a week. So the process works. I will tell you from experience, once you begin, you have to stay with it. As long as you continually do this week in and week out, month in and month out, you'll continually grow.
The system works, but nothing works unless you do. You've got to take some action. Download the ebook for free today at thebestseobook.com.
Hello, my name is Daniel with Daniel's Heating and Air here in Amarillo, Texas. The way Google has affected my business, we have got a lot of calls from Google. Right now it's July, and we've had the best month ever. And it took us about 8 to 10 months to get on top of Google, and I'm glad we did.
Remember, nothing works unless you do. You have to go to thebestseobook.com today. Download the ebook for free. Just download that ebook for free, and you'll be off to the races.
Hi, my name is Christina Nemus. I'm the owner and operator of Angel's Touch Auto Body and Detailing in Bourne, Massachusetts. We have been working with Thrive and their coaching for, say, 8 to 9 months, and it took us about 6 months, 5 to 6 months to get on the top of Google, and with their help with the website and marketing, and the SEO and retargeting ads with Google, and it has been phenomenal. We just have light and day business coming in, phone calls coming in, walk-ins, referrals. It's just through the roof, and we couldn't be happier. At the moment, we are up 50% this year from the previous year, and not only is that part of our own hard work and diligence, but also with the help of Thrive and what they've done for us and getting us on the top of Google and, you know, all their knowledge and coaching. And yeah, so super grateful, super pumped to see what the future holds for all of us. Thank you.
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. Proverbs 10:4. I'm here to tell you, you can do it if you can just motivate yourself. 12 the masses had to cut off a few, so on the daily you and I could rendezvous. A misshapen tree that I had to prune. I had to make cuts to be here daily at noon. So like a tidal wave of knowledge monsoon, I could rain on the parades of those who doubt in you. Are you the next Rockefeller or the next guru, or the next Dr. King who's changing the rules? Walls are in your way, will you run right through? Like a running back, forth the one, it's up to you. I remember my days back in the dorm room, tuned to the gloom like the temple of doom, overwhelmed with the doubts that try to consume my hope for the future that I could pursue. But from the mountaintop now I can conclude that you have what it takes if you want the view to.
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time. It's your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
This moment is profound cause you're above the ground. Your road might have been rough, but what you got now is now. We're here to pick you up and to even show you how, but you gotta be resourceful with that old plow. Started from the bottom, but I worked my way up, cause by 4 a.m. I've always been prayed up. Rise and grind, now's your time, don't dare let up. You gotta get it, don't quit it till your seeds grow up.
This is your year to thrive.
Come on.
Success you will find.
Yes.
Today is your day,
Somebody say,
and now is your time.
it's your time.
It's your year to thrive.
Come on.
Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
It's your time. We all have a wish and we all want to win, but we cannot begin without self-discipline. If you fall on your face, get yourself up again. Attach yourself to goals, not fail with the friends. When the storms get rough and it's scatter and leave, you only be there with yourself and what you believe. We believe in you, but not as much as God does. If you're going through hell, he's got nothing but love. Apply what you learn, increase what you earn, and in due time
You
you
got
have
money to burn. Apply what you learn, increase what you burn, and in due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you learn, increase what you burn, in due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you learn,
Sing it.
increase what you burn.
Yes.
In due time you got money to
With this lyrical
burn.
miracle,
Yeah.
I look to shout down the doubters. Kill the weeds that be killing your dream flowers. Empower you to devour all the obstacles that make your sweet dreams sour. As for me, I used to stutter, but now I'm on the microphone smooth like butter. If I can do it, I know you can too, but you must stick to it like postage do. And while Merton's on the chorus, singing what he sings, I encourage you to dream big dreams.
Today is your day,
Today's your day.
and now is your time.
It's your time.
This is your year to thrive.
Sing it.
Success you will find. Today is your day,
It's your day.
and now is your time.
It's your time.
Today is your day,
Come on.
and now is your time.
Sing it, Martin.
Today is your day, now is your time.
I realize I can't sing like that, but I can talk and play the woodblock. Okay. If you guys need me, I'll just be over here.